Okay, I should be live now. Let's see if I can hear myself on stream. That should,
Yeah, I should be live now.
yep, I can. Good news. Cool. So, now it should also actually be playing in my headset instead of my speakers. Probably help if my headset was on. There we go. Okay. Okay. Just ask me questions and I'll show you around. Those. So this is Octoprint right now. I'm in the middle of a print. Well, actually, I'm at the end of a print, as you can see. And basically, when you first set it up, you just get Octoprint. The recommended way is using a Raspberry Pi and using RPi, pretty much. Why is Firefox this slow? Oh, it's trying to access a Raspberry Pi. I'm not. Okay, never mind. You just download an image. It's a pre-configured image for Raspberry Pi, so you just flash that on there. It's based on Raspbian, so you can still go in and install things afterwards. But then it comes up with a first setup thing where you make a user for yourself, because if this is open to the internet, it actually isn't in my case, but I'd still put it on. Yeah, just to make sure. So only if you're logged in can you access anything that sets temperatures or moves stuff or prints. This is the main page you will get into, and then the first time you set up a connection here, I just have it set up to auto connect and server startup, and yeah, so I'll just hide this. Then you have the current state of the printer, and this is actually, when this is green, this time it's actually fairly accurate. It takes a bit of time to stabilize, but yeah, it gets there. So this is just general information here, and what's what's the size? How long is it? How long has it been printing? And when you've printed this once, it also shows. I think it actually shows a more accurate time. It remembers. Down here is just all of the files I have on it. You can set up here like I have. I normally have this done in Chrome, which I normally use, or by upload date. So I just always have the newest stuff here. So let's hop over to control. I have a webcam on. I hooked up a USB webcam, and then that just automatically appears here. And you can open this as a separate stream. Then there's the G-code viewer here. And this just takes a bit of a time to load because it actually has to download the G-code. One thing that I really like about it is it prioritizes printing. So it prioritizes spitting out commands over the serial bus. So everything else would just have to wait. It didn't do that in the beginning. I can remember when it was fairly new, I had some trouble with, if I watched the webcam stream, my printer would pause. It doesn't do that anymore. But as you can see, here's just a G-code view. It shows the current layer. It doesn't show where the printer is. It shows the last line it's sent. And because the printer has like a 9-10 line buffer, this is a few lines ahead. But yeah, that's nothing, right? If you want, you can like unsynchronize it. You can set it to send to viewpoint on model and zoom in on model, but there's an issue if you have a delta. It doesn't actually center on it. So yeah, you can also show the previous layers if you want, or you can. So one thing I usually use this for is on Smoothie Board you can pause things with an M600 command. So if I have to like insert a knot in a printed enclosed pocket or insert a magnet or something like that, I run through the G-code here. I check exactly which layer I have to pause it at and pause it, if I haven't already done that manually in the G-code. Then over here is your terminal. It's just showing you terminal commands. You can send terminal commands if you want to. You can turn off auto scroll. You can suppress temperature readings, the normal M105 commands. can suppress a few things, and you can actually add custom filters if you want. Right, and things I've never used here, so I won't talk about those. Then over here is the time-lapse section. I don't use it, but I have in the past. You can set it up to time-lapse on every set change or on a time basis. If you do it on a set basis, do not use that with vase mode because it will take images all of the time. And that's bad. You can't configure this while the printer is running, so yeah, can't do much here now. Right, over here you will notice some things like PSU control and post start. These are not things that actually are in Octoprint normally, so that's a good point to talk about the plugin system, I suppose. So this is the settings menu of Octoprint. You can go in here and set up a few things. I don't think I touched much in here. Anything I can remember back when I had a really old when I had what was it? It was a RepRap Hoxley from 2010, RepRap Pro Hoxley, with a pretty slow Sanguino Lulu chip. I actually had to up the communication timeout, but I haven't actually do that ever since. You can set up printer profiles, and some pretty cute, cool stuff. You can implement the Cura engine on here, upload your Cura profiles so that you can just upload STLs. I don't use Cura, and I don't really care too much for, like, I want to be able to edit my things in here. But if you do want this, there is actually a plugin that gives you full Cura-like control of orienting the model and scaling it and rotating it and duplicating it and such, and then sending it to the slicer on a Raspberry Pi. So there's that option. You can set up some temperatures. I've set up PETG, PLA, and TPU, so I can just show you that. So out here, I can just pick the drop-down menu and just pick a preset if I want, or I can enter a temperature. Also, this is not usually this slow. This might be because I'm printing, or this might be Firefox. I don't know. I usually use Chrome. Right, terminal filters. This is what I was talking about. So this is the suppress temperature message, suppress SD status message, and suppress wake responses. If I wanted to get rid of all of these G-code lines, I could write a filter for that fairly easily. Has to filter on send receive stuff. So you can write custom filters there too. Right, let's see. Terminal filters, G-code scripts. You can make custom scripts. I have this done before print starts. Turn on the power supply, wait 3 seconds, and then I do not remember what M220 is. I'll just check that in I2C. This GTH-X is actually pretty good for that. Oh yeah. So in case I have been messing around with speed overrides, this just takes care of resetting it to 100%. I have actually gotten into trouble with that before. Like where I had something printing way too slow, so I upped it to 400%. And because I never turn off my printer, because I have power supply control, there's always 5-volt standby. So it remembers whatever you last entered a speed override. So I just started a new print, and it just, bam, ran way too fast and stalled all of the motors, which is bad on a Delta because it relies heavily on knowing where the motors are. And then after a print, turn off the power supply and turn off the fan. When you cancel it, disable all the motors, disable all the heaters. This is standard. I haven't touched this. It's just their standard. And there's all the other things here. After print job is paused, before print job is resumed. That must be these buttons. This button. I never used that button. I don't know how well it works with Smoothie, which is what I'm using. Maybe that's because I should just set up the G-code in here. Okay, never seen that before. Before tool change, after tool change, after connect, established and closed. So yeah, you have some options there. Features. Here's some features. I haven't actually done anything in here. Yeah, I've enabled this because I've used SmoothieWare. send the checksum with the command when printing. So yeah, Repetier apparently needs it always. Didn't know that. That checksum thing is what you're seeing in the terminal as well. Yeah, webcam and time lapse. Which URL do you want to stream to? That's the standard. The aspect ratio. You want to flip the webcam or rotate it. What's your snapshot URL? Snapshot. And path to, this is all standard on the image. Access control. Fuck. Well, I have to change that now. Yeah, I'll have to change my API key after stream. It's luckily not open to the internet, so it doesn't matter too much, but I do have to change this now because I just streamed it. I suppose that brings up another point. Let me add another window capture to OBS. What? Okay, here we go. Let me add another window capture to OBS. Quick. Here we go, Slicer. So in Slicer actually supports this. I just opened my 3D models in here. I have anything in here that's an STL? So let's just take that. So here's a draw. I can just do everything I wanted in Slicer and then hit set to printer, and it just uploads it. That's what you will use the API keys. Decode visualizer. I haven't touched anything here. You can set some size limitations. It'll warn you if you have larger G-code files that it might crash your browser, and it might. On like 100 megabyte G-code files, don't try and load them. Again, some API key. I have to refresh this too. These API keys are also used by apps. So if you want to use your phone as a remote control for your printer, there's apps for that. You just scan this QR code or enter this up here. Here's some standard things. I have not done anything in here. Folders, not done anything in here. Appearance, I guess you can do language packs and stuff. Logs, download logs here. Plugin manager, here it gets a bit more exciting. Announcement plugin, basically when you open the web interface for this, it'll come down with some announcements over here, like there's a new update or there's new plugins and stuff. Yeah, so I think these two here are standard. There they are. This is standard-ish, not quite. Here's the cost estimation plugin I've installed. There's a Cure engine, and then there's the custom control editor. There's quite a few more apparently. This I haven't done anything with. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. Touch UI basically allows you to, it gives you better UI for phones. It's really good. And touchscreens if you add one to the Raspberry Pi, and then you can get more. So then the software update, check for updates. Touch announcements, you can check announcements, and here down here is where plugins add their own settings menus. So customization, well, my power consumption is that, and my electricity cost is that. You can enter your currencies and format your string down here. You can set up stuff for Cura. Set up this. Yeah, this is things I've set up. So you saw I mentioned the PSU control and the pause start. Well, I just added some controls. You can add them like. So this supports create a container, and the container can either be, so this is a container, and I have this as a horizontal container, so new buttons will be added horizontally. So there's PSU1 here. The reason I'm clicking this is because I'm not sure if it actually sends the commands, and I don't want to kill my print. Yeah, so I think it actually does. So here you can edit it. So I just call it PSU1, it just sends this command. You can give it inputs and outputs and stuff, apparently, like having a text box or a slider or something like that, I think. If we check the PSU off here, you can see I also have use confirmation with the message, turning off the PSU means the steppers and heaters won't get power. Are you sure you want to turn off power? I have pause and start for Smoothie Board, which is just Force and Resume, which is just M600 and M601. And then that's about it. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. And that's about it. Yeah, I'm back. Right. So yeah, that's Octoprint. So I suppose that means no questions. So yeah, that was it. Signing off.